The other day, I was sitting around and thinking about what major theme parks I haven't been to yet. And I came up with a list of 34 major theme parks that I hadn't visited yet and how I could tackle all of them in one trip. First, a few notes before we get into this video. First of all, this is a list of 37 parks, as there are 3 parks that I have already visited that I would be revisiting. Also, I wanted to add Japan to this since that is one of my top bucket list places to go for theme parks, but it would have been way too hard to add that to the schedule and just ridiculously unrealistic, and that leads me into my final point. My final note is, this is a hypothetical list. It is very possible, I very much could do it, but I definitely could not right now. 35 parks, it would probably take months and months. It would be absolutely awesome, but it's just kind of out of the possibilities right now. Anyways, let's get into my dream theme park trip. It would start with a flight from San Diego to Chicago to go to my first park, Six Flags Great America. Six Flags Great America looks like it has one of the best coaster lineups in North America. Their headlining coaster is Max Force, an absolutely insane looking air launch coaster, and it is the fastest accelerating coaster in North America. They also have Goliath, a very unique looking RMC Topper Track coaster. It definitely looks good, but I think it would be lower tier RMC for me. Raging Bull looks easily like one of the best hyper coasters. Wrath of Rakshasa looks like a pretty good dive coaster. Viper looks like a pretty good wooden coaster. They have 2 other B&Ms, Superman and X-Flight, which both look pretty good. And then there's also the first ever Batman clone, Batman the Ride, which was also the first inverted coaster to ever go upside down. Pretty cool history fact. The park will also be opening a family inverted coaster next year in 2027, and they're rumored to get a B&M Giga coaster in 2028, so this park is definitely a top bucket list park. After visiting Six Flags Great America in Illinois, I drive down through Indiana and go to southern Indiana where Holiday World is. Holiday World looks like it might have one of the world's best coasters, and that is the Voyage. If the Voyage isn't the world's best coaster, then it's definitely the world's best wooden coaster, because it just looks like it has such an insane and long layout. Holiday World also has 2 other amazing looking wooden coasters with the Raven and the Legend, and they also have a really good looking B&M launched wing coaster, Thunderbird. If I time this right, I could even go to Holiday World during Halloween nights, which I hear could just make it even better. After going to Holiday World, I would drive into Kentucky and go to Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville. Kentucky Kingdom was originally owned by Six Flags, and it was called Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom. After that, it was owned independently, and a few years ago, it was bought by Hershent, and ever since, they've been doing big theming upgrades. An example of that is Flying Fox, a family inverted coaster, coming next year, and that looks like it'll have some really good theming. Kentucky Kingdom looks like it has a really good 1-2 punch with Storm Chaser, now known as Wind Chaser, and Lightning Run. Lightning Run is currently the world's only Chance Hyper GTX, and Storm Chaser just looks like easily one of the best RMCs. That thing looks insane. After I visited Kentucky Kingdom, I would drive up north into Ohio and go to Kings Island, which, oh my gosh, that is one of my top bucket list parks right now. They look to have an amazing top 4 with the Beast, a really long wooden coaster, Mystic Timbers, a really good and modern wooden coaster, Diamondback, another really good B&M Hyper and probably one of the best in the world, and Orion, a really cool B&M Giga coaster. The park as a whole looks just really charming and just, nice, so it is definitely, that along with the amazing coaster lineup, it is definitely a top bucket list park for me. After visiting Kings Island, I drive up to northern Ohio and visit one of my favorite theme parks in the world. Yes, this is one of the theme parks on this list that I've already been to, Cedar Point. Since I've already been to Cedar Point, I won't talk about it much, but basically they have Steel Vengeance, which is one of the world's best coasters, and Maverick, which is another top 15 coaster, and just so many other coasters. Seriously, this park is huge and has such an amazing lineup. The main reason that I want to revisit this park, on top of it being my favorite park that I've ever been to, is that when I went, Top Thrill 2, one of their biggest coasters and the tallest coaster in North America, was closed. Since then, it has reopened, and Cedar Point since then has also opened Siren's Curse, which is North America's first tilt coaster and one of the only tilt coasters in North America. If you're wondering what the other one is, Codaland in Austin, Texas recently opened Circuit Breaker, which is actually a coaster that I will be going on later this year. Anyways, after visiting Cedar Point, I would then drive to Pennsylvania and visit the 4 major theme parks there. Hershey Park is the biggest theme park in Pennsylvania, and honestly, it looks like it has the best coaster lineup of any park in North America. Wildcats Revenge is their signature coaster, and honestly, it looks like a top tier RMC. Skyrush also looks really good, especially now that they've switched out the lap bars for nice ones. The two B&Ms, Great Bear and Candemonium, look like some of the best of their models. I do know that that's a little bit controversial because I do hear that Candemonium is a low tier B&M hyper, but I don't know what it is about it, but it just looks really fun. A regular theme parks lineup would probably end about there, but Hershey Park's lineup is just so good. We haven't even gotten into the two other Intamin coasters, Stormrunner and Fahrenheit. Stormrunner is one of 3 Intamin hydraulic launch coasters left in North America, and Fahrenheit is just a really weird but very unique looking Intamin. The next biggest park in Pennsylvania is Kennywood. Their signature coaster, Phantom's Revenge, I can't really tell if I would really love it, like have it as a top 15 coaster, or think it's kind of overrated. It's really hard to tell. Steel Curtain is their other big coaster, and I feel like I would like it, but at the same time it doesn't really look like it does much. They also have a few other really good looking wooden coasters such as Jackrabbit, which, oh my gosh, that double down in the back row looks insane. Dorney Park is the next biggest park in Pennsylvania, and while it definitely looks small, it still looks really fun. Steel Force looks fun, I guess, although I don't know really what I compare it to for stuff that I've ridden. Hydra looks weird but fun, I guess. Iron Menace looks... oh, I don't know about Iron Menace. And Talon looks like one of the better B&M inverted coasters, but also it might just be that awesome color scheme. Finally, Knoebels is the smallest park in Pennsylvania, and even though it's really small, it just looks so fun and charming. They have some very unique rides such as Impulse, this kind of weird vertical lift coaster, Flying Turns, the only wooden bobsled coaster in the entire world, and Twister, a strange but really intense looking wooden coaster. Their signature coaster is of course Phoenix, and I just think it looks crazy overrated. I'm sure the airtime is insane with just a buzz bar, but I've seen so many people in the back of those Ace magazines put Phoenix as their #1 wooden coaster above El Toro and The Voyage, and that's just crazy. One other thing about Knoebels, they're supposedly one of the only theme parks in North America outside of SeaWorld and Disney that actually has a good on-ride filming policy, like they allow secure GoPros, which is awesome. After going to those 4 big parks in Pennsylvania, I would drive to New Jersey and go to Six Flags Great Adventure. I was actually supposed to go to Six Flags Great Adventure at the beginning of April, but they just decided to be silly willy and decided to close the day I was gonna go.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But anyways, Six Flags Great Adventure does look like a really good park. El Toro looks like one of the world's best wooden coasters, even though I've been hearing that it has been getting rough. Nitro looks like one of the best B&M hypers, and Kingda Ka is in a scrapyard.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Kingda Ka's replacement, Phantom Spire, or at least that's apparently what it will be called, it's going to be opening next year. It's going to be a Mach Rides Extreme spinning coaster, but I still, just because it's a shuttle coaster, I don't think it will be good as Ride of Happiness. After going to Six Flags Great Adventure, I would drive up to Massachusetts and go to the final park on this leg of the trip, Six Flags New England. Six Flags New England looks like a good mid-tier Six Flags park with a really good 1-2 punch. Wicked Cyclone looks like a really intense mid-tier RMC, and Superman is another one I don't know what I'd think about it. If the restraints are as bad as people say, then I think it'd just be a really uncomfortable and painful ride experience. But if they're not as bad as people say, I feel like it'd just be such a fun and intense ride. But that would be it for that leg of the trip, as after that I would catch a flight from Boston to London to go into the next leg of the trip, Europe. So I was going to include Europe in this video, but since the video is already 11 minutes long and the Europe section is actually twice as long, I'm going to put it in a separate part. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I'm really excited to show you part 2, which has 26 theme parks in Europe. So that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, then make sure to like and subscribe, and bye!